Alright, Go Go Loser Ranger episode 5. After taking a week off, the anime is now back, and we've got some interesting news for Go Go Loser Ranger. There is an English dub out now for Go Go Loser Ranger, but from what I've heard, so far it's only available on Disney Plus as it's airing weekly there. So for me, where I live in Australia, Go Go Loser Ranger airs on Disney Plus here because we don't have Hulu, so apparently that English dub is now available for Disney Plus audiences who are watching Go Go Loser Ranger. Now, I've seen the cast, I haven't listened to the dub, but from what I've seen it's a pretty good solid English dub cast. The only crime I've seen so far in the credits is there is no Johnny Yong Bosch from what I've seen so far, but I think that's only the first episode credits, so maybe he'll play another character later on in the next couple of episodes. Maybe he'll be one of the other Ranger cadets or maybe one of the other villains, you never know, but no Johnny Yong Bosch in the credits so far is a crime because this show would be right up his alley if he's able to act in this anime. But fingers crossed we'll hear Johnny in Go Go Loser Ranger. Hopefully he auditioned and he got a role in this show. But Go Go Loser Ranger episode 5, it picks up where the last episode left off on, where Hibiki is taking the place of D, and D is taking the place of Hibiki, so I'm probably going to get a bunch of names changed in this episode, but probably moving forward, I'll probably just call D Hibiki, just to make things make more sense, because, you know, D is actually pretending to be Hibiki from now on. So this episode is sort of focusing on D adjusting to the new Academy Ranger life as he's thrown into the Ranger Academy, the Ranger Force Academy, where we soon find out that he is a white ranking Ranger, and the White Rangers are the independent Rangers. They don't really have a color yet because they got a bad grade at the test, I believe, and if you get a bad grade then you have to sort of work your way up and sort of make your way into the barracks. And this episode, the first half of it is D walking around and being introduced to all the other Rangers who are in the white barracks. So we meet a bunch of characters here and there. We meet a couple of female characters who all have angel puns. We meet the rival, I think Kai Shion, I believe their name is, and I remember reading about them in the manga before I fell off reading them, and he was a really cool character. And not only that, you've got like muscly guys and good looking guys and stuff like that. So they fit the whole trope of the anime stuff going on with all their personalities. But the second half of the episode is we find out that Hibiki is related to Pink Keeper, and Pink Keeper, although when morphed, she's very agile, very strong. You find out when she's in a civilian form, she is in a wheelchair. And in this episode, you have her having a conversation with D or Hibiki, and she's telling him to quit the Ranger Force because although he has this sense of righteousness, it's not what he expects, it's not what he's going to want, which is something we've kind of learned with how the Dragon Keepers work from the inside, or how the Ranger Force Academy works on the inside, where we know that the hierarchy is seemingly corrupt. So it seems that she knows a couple of things from what we've seen moving around here and there, and we'll probably learn more secrets within the Ranger Academy or within the Dragon Keepers moving forward. So this episode had them sort of having this back and forth with one another. So the other big reveal we get in this episode is we find out that in Hibiki's closet is this monster girl who is a duster just like D. And this monster girl is kind of a bit of a mystery because we know that she's been living in the civilian world for the longest time, but we find out that she's been living in the civilian world ever since the Dragon Keepers sort of took over everything, and she's sort of been living somehow in the Ranger Academy with Hibiki. How she got there, no idea. I don't think I got that far into the manga where we get an explanation why she's there. But we know that she wants vengeance against the Dragon Keepers just like D. She's a lot more violent. She has more of those monster fighter instincts where she goes on instinct, she fights on revenge and stuff like that. She's quite the interesting character here and there. But it looks like that she's going to sort of be this companion for D later down the line as the show goes on, because I just remember that Monster Girl was kind of a big mystery as I kept reading the manga, but I don't think I ever got an answer with what she's about or what her whole motive or her whole backstory is with how she ended up in the academy with Hibiki. But it looks like she's been friends with Hibiki for a while because she does ask D, is Hibiki alive? And she's glad to know that Hibiki is alive in some shape or form. So it looks like that Hibiki and this Monster Girl have some kind of relationship where they go way back. So I'm curious to find out what that backstory is again once I keep watching the anime, or maybe when I pick up the manga again. But the whole conversation between Dragon Keeper Pink and D pretending to be Hibiki, like I said, Dragon Keeper Pink wants Hibiki to stop being in Ranger Force because, you know, it's not what he dreams of, it's not his ideal thing, it's not what he thinks it is, but D as Hibiki says, no, I'm going to fight until the very end because that's what I'm going to do. And the episode ends on a very, very weird note where you have Dragon Keeper Pink fighting these bugs, and then she says, it's getting me very excited to see my brother act so righteous and not giving up on his dreams. And it got a little bit weird at the end, I will say that. A little bit weird. Too weird, very weird. I won't say a little bit weird, it got very weird at the end. But yeah, especially hearing that voice performance from Mal coming from Dragon Keeper Pink. But that's where the episode ends. I am curious to see where the show is going to go moving forward, because like I said, I dropped the manga around volume 4, so it's moving along very smoothly from what I remember with everything happening, because I remember this stuff in the manga taking a little bit longer to sort of get through here and there, so I feel like the pacing is moving along quite smoothly in my opinion. From what I've heard, this is going to be 24 episodes long, so I do wonder how much they're going to adapt when it comes to the Go-Go Loser Ranger manga, because the series isn't complete yet, so I do wonder how much they're going to adapt within these 25 episodes, and what kind of note is it going to end on once we get to the big season finale. But Go-Go Loser Ranger is still a really great series to watch. If you're a fan of Super Sentai, Tokusatsu and stuff like that, I highly recommend checking it out. This episode was very talky, but you do learn a little bit more of the lore and the backstory going on with everything with these characters. So overall, this was another solid episode, and I can't wait to see where the show is going to go next moving forward. Will I pick up the manga again? Quite possibly, maybe near the end of the anime's run, but I am still enjoying this series regardless. So what did you guys think of this episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Tell me down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. With that said, I'm out of here. Peace out, take care, and bye.